death certificate. Sometime right now in life, you don't know when it's your time. You know, you think you know because of an illness or whatever that you're near death. But a lot of times right now, your death certificate can be signed and you don't even know that it's signed. I was on a run from the federal government from August 11, 1988 up until November 10th, 1988. In and out of New York, South Carolina, Virginia Beach, Chicago, Los Angeles, keeping a low profile and trying to stay a couple of steps ahead of the U.S. Marshal who was on my trail hunt me down. While I was on a run, I tried to get plastic surgery on my face and on my fingers because I didn't want to go to jail. Labor Day weekend, 1988, I headed to Virginia Beach. Doing then, every black colleges from up and down the East Coast border all met up in Virginia Beach. And you got the guys and the girls, mainly the girls. And all the street hustler from the East Coast border also went down there on a mini vacation. My purpose for being down there was to bump into some of my old associates, dudes that owe me large sum of money. Trust me, when you are on the run in the criminal world, those that owe you a large sum of money for work you gave them on consignment will duck and dodge you to prevent from paying that tab. During the next to last day down there, I ran into Webb from Brooklyn, Mr. Low Key, one of the biggest players in the game at the time. It was him, his right-hand man, and the late great Demisio, and approximately 20 of his soldiers. When he approached me, it was just him. Webb had always been a real smooth brother, but just as dangerous as I was. Keep in mind, Webb is the one that was responsible for the original 50 Cent murder. He started talking about different events pertaining to his organization and my organization. As time went on, he summoned his right-hand man to join the conversation. As we went back and forth discussing different topics and issues, we ended the conversation on a positive note. I went my way and they went theirs. It was not until 1990-91, I was already in jail approximately 2 to 3 years at the time, when I called, the street, and I was talking to LD. My man LD started telling me that one morning after partying all night long, him and the late Demisio, Lou Hobbs, Ken Du, and a few others went to breakfast, and how I was the topic of the conversation. Imagine that. Demisio got on them. If anybody know anything about Demisio, pretty boy, made money. I know Demisio going back to 1979, and he was very vocal, was not afraid to express himself. He started the conversation and telling these niggas, oh man, Ken Du, you used to be fucking scared of Glaze. Lou, you was scared of, you remember when different shit started happening or whatever, and how every time Glaze came around, y'all niggas was shaking your boots. Demisio went on to say, during Labor Day 1988, how Webb, Demisio, and Webb, right-hand man, left New York. Before they left New York, they was in Brooklyn. And during that whole time, what they was talking about, if they go down to the Virginia Beach and they see me, they was gonna execute me. They was gonna more or less, like right now, murder me like they did to Sonny Corleone in the movie The Godfather. I didn't know that the only reason they did not kill me Labor Day weekend 1988 was due to my answer was legit and real. Sometimes your death certificate can be signed and you don't even know it. So here it is right now. When those motherfuckers approached me, they had every intention of killing me, and I didn't know it. What saved me that particular day? Me being me being real.
86, 87, they kicked me off Rikers Island. So we did not want this brother on Rikers Island because he was a menace. Because to me, back then, I'm on Rikers Island. I don't got no bail. I'm facing 2 murders, kidnapping, weapon charges. Guess what happened? Now I'm a menace. Because anybody got in my way, I would try to kill them. I would stab them in their neck with an ink pen. It doesn't matter. What happened is, being in there, you breathe. They breathe what? They breathe worse of criminals. So you know what? Being in there and having a reputation, and I remember being in Brooklyn House at the time in 1986, me and Pappy Mason, we developed a good relationship.
Right.
We became hell of a friends or whatever.
He came to my house one day, he like, to my mom, he said, Miss Marlene, he said, yeah, my name is MLM now. So like, my mom like, what's MLM? He said, money and murder.
Like the way we used to come out in the building, everybody's strapped. We got 3-4 guys this way, 3-4 guys that way. We got our guns out. When we used to come out the apartment or whatever, guess what? There was no such thing as a defense for the element of surprise. We was always prepared. Bulletproof vest, Uzi, 45, 9mm, we was ready to go.
By the mid to late 80s, Brian had associated himself with probably the most ruthless and notorious cocaine crack enterprise in the city, that being Howard Pappy Mason and Lorenzo Fat Cat Nichols.
NYPD rookie police officer was murdered, executioner style. And as I'm listening to that, I'm like, whoa. And when they say where it happened at 107 in Inwood, I'm like, oh man.
That bad. That was given to me by a police officer in New York called Matt Byrne, whose son was gunned down by these drug dealers up there in New York City.
While police were guarding Arjun last month, assassins shot to death police officer Edward Byrne.
By virtue of his position with that organization and his reputation, it was the consensus of opinion at first, after the Byrne murder, that Brian Glaze Gibbs, and only Brian Glaze Gibbs, was capable of pulling something off like this.
He definitely had some cats that was quick to pull the trigger and will pull the trigger in a heartbeat. And he had some thinkers around him also.
G was going around like his business mania is trying to network with individuals that was strong and recruiting all the little, niggas from the hood that, that's shooters, you know what I'm saying? And he mainly put a little nice crew together,
Glaze was probably within the top 10 people in the city, but I'm going to say that he was probably one of the top 2 or 3 in Brooklyn. Drug dealers and controlled the drug organization. Everybody knew who he was, and most people feared Glaze.
When they threw that fucking firebomb through the house, they started a war. And right now, if it wasn't for him stopping me, everybody that was responsible for it, they'd have lost somebody, more than somebody. They would have lost a fucking whole generation that day.
I can remember that call, April 1988, and the information I was getting, how one of the guys that used to be around us was more or less betraying me. And you know what I did? When I got the phone, I told my man, the next time we see him, he's out of here. Yeah. Less than 12 hours, that nigga was dead. When I got back to New York, you know what happened, man?
What?
I sat down with my crew, and I'm saying, who am I to say who lived and who died?